So I posted a YouTube short. I had found fraudulent charges on our credit card, but I was wrong. Like, why do you have a credit card attached to your Apple ID? Hey, welcome to my fall low by year check-in. And the check-in is that I haven't been diligently doing it. I've been thinking about it, but I haven't been doing it. And the reason is we had a financial nightmare in July. And I want to share that story with you so that you can learn from it and hopefully protect yourself. So I posted a YouTube short about how I had found fraudulent charges on our credit card. My husband and I share a credit card, and there was fraudulent charges on there. And we both kind of freaked out, called the bank, and the bank was kind of like, okay, if these charges go from pending to posted, call back. So I was like, okay. So I had like my fingers crossed because I had let them know during the pending period. So I was really hopeful. And so my little YouTube short was very upbeat because I was so hopeful.
Called my bank as soon as I saw and noticed that there were charges on there. And then I noted which charges, the ones that were not ours. Right away, the guy was like, yep, okay. And they were so nice. He said that they would take care of it and just let me know what happened. Hopefully it all gets removed because there's like $2,500 worth of stuff that was on there. That's not cool. So.
But I was wrong. A few days went by and the charges went from pending to posted, and I was like, oh no, something's wrong. Something's wrong. So I called the bank back and I told them my little backstory. You know, this is what's happening. And I think I got one of the snarkiest ladies I've ever talked to on the phone. And like, because at this point in time, I thought that the criminals had gained some kind of access to my phone and had gotten it from my bank, my credit card information from my Apple ID card, like the credit card that was linked to my Apple ID. So I told the lady that this is kind of my hypothesis. And she was like, why do you have a credit card attached to your Apple ID? I don't know, lady, because I have a million subscriptions that I have to pay for these days. Like, are you even from this year? Do you even understand what's happening? Like, the frustrating part is that back last fall, I had taken like this little fraudulent information course from my bank and like how to protect your identity kind of thing. And they didn't say anything about having a card linked to your Apple ID, how that might be a risk. Nothing there. How was I supposed to know? So then I was just feeling super fiery. Like, I felt like I was right. I had done everything that I could. I wanted to fight this. Like, besides checking my bank account every 30 minutes, there's no way I could have known that those bank charges were coming through. So bright and early on a Monday, went to my local bank, sat down with the bank manager, and she said that the fraudulent department had determined that the bank was not at fault here. Great. That in order for the bank to be responsible, I would have had to have told them that I had lost the credit card or something, which in these days, like, you don't really lose a credit card, you're losing information through data, and so how would you even know? You wouldn't. And that I needed to tell the bank before charges were made. And since that didn't happen, though, I'm still responsible for those charges that went through. I'm still pretty upset about it. I'm not upset at the bank manager. She was like so nice. She tried to answer my questions. She said that she would like contact the fraud department and just double check, because I was feeling so adamant that like I had contacted them while the charges were still pending. Like, why couldn't have something been done? She did say that one little bit of helpful information was that we were trying to determine if it was my phone or another family member's phone, because I have a few of like the kids' phones under my Apple ID too, so we can share apps and stuff, you know, who doesn't do that? So she did say that it came to my phone number, and that it was an activation code for to activate my mobile wallet. And like, I found the text. I went back in my messages. I found the text. I don't remember what I was doing at the time to have needed it. Like, was I changing my password on my Apple Wallet? Like, I cannot remember. So I didn't know. I wasn't sure. And by this time it had been like a few weeks since the incident had happened. And so they're like, you know, I have a horrible memory as it is, so I wasn't going to remember. So I did everything that I could, and I'm still responsible for somebody else's shopping spree to Lowe's, Target, and a store called Footstool, which is from Japan or something. So great. Hope you enjoy your purchases, criminal. So that didn't turn out the way that I thought. It's over $2,200 of purchases, things that I have to buy, over 3 charges. So here's my advice. So this doesn't happen to you, because at least I can put the word out there. Don't have a credit card linked to your Apple ID, or if you do, make it like a really low balanced one, or maybe like Apple iTunes gift card or something. Maybe that could work for subscriptions and things. I haven't tried. I took my credit card right off of my thing, and I'm like, I'm just not even gonna use it then. I guess it'll help with my low buy year. And the other thing that I was thinking was it would be nice to see if the bank would notify you if you had a charge that was over a certain amount. So I'm thinking like over $100, if I could have the bank text me to notify me that, hey, there was a purchase over $100, blah, blah, blah. Then I could see like, is that me or is that my husband? And if not, cancel that sucker. Like, I don't want him to make any other charges. I don't want to be responsible for anybody else's purchases. I have enough purchases of my own that I need to be responsible for. So I need to get back onto tracking, because I think that's the biggest thing. If I can just track and be aware of my purchases, then at least I know where our money has been, and I can kind of plan and know if what we have is good or not. So the key is going to be tracking at least once a week. I would love to try to do it every night. I'm just gonna pop open my Chromebook, try and type in my expenses every night as best I can, because I think that'll help me stay more accountable and on top of things. I would love to do zero-based budgets, and I think the key would be to do them before the month starts. So for October, I'm going to be posting some information about my zero-based budget for October, so be on the lookout for that. I did go back for July and August and make sure that I had all my expenses tracked. I have actually all of my expenses tracked for the whole year. I just wasn't doing them on like a weekly basis. And I think that's going to be key, because then you can kind of stay on top of it and stop spending when you've spent your total, right? One thing the low buy year has helped me with is to make me more aware as a consumer. You know, like I do stop and ask some of those questions that I had in one of my earlier videos and consider like, do I need this? I try to take a little bit of time in between purchases so that I have time to think about purchases. And there's been a few times when I really wanted to buy something. It's usually clothes for myself too, which I think is weird, because I'm not really a clothes horse. But apparently I'm feeling like I need some new clothes. I have not bought, I bought one t-shirt this year, and it was $15. So that is like the only clothing item that I've purchased for myself for the whole year. So I've done pretty good. It's just really made me stop and think like, oh, I said I wasn't going to buy any notebooks and I wasn't going to buy any clothes. And so it just helps me put a pause on it so that I don't overspend. So one thing that I am super proud of us for doing is having a sinking funds account. So basically we've taken all of our income from our side jobs and we've put it into a separate account that we've called sinking funds. And we are trying to use that for our extra things like buying school supplies and Christmas presents and birthdays and date nights and just those extra things that you don't need for survival, right? It's above and beyond our regular bills. So the only thing is, like, since I haven't been budgeting, I haven't been like planning those purchases. So it's just been kind of as they come. We've been like, oh yeah, we went on a trip, so we had to pay for a hotel. So that's going to come out of sinking funds, which is great. The money's there because we've got some side work that's coming in, which is helpful. But I think it would be helpful to have those purchases planned beforehand, so I'm not just willy-nilly spending. That's the real thing. I just need to be a little bit more accountable. Yeah, just try to be more responsible. It's the theme of this year. If you would like to plan a zero-based budget, check out my next video, which is going to be a zero-based budget for October, and hopefully that helps you plan your budget as well. See you later.